Well, welcome everybody. We're looking at Module 12 here, drawing of Lewis dot structures. So let's use an example that we see in Module 12, and that's SO3. Now, the two things you've got to be careful of are, first of all, we need to use all valence electrons, and the second thing is that everything needs 8 electrons. Now that's all except hydrogen, which would need 2, but let's just say that everything needs to have 8 electrons here. Alright, the first thing we want to do, calculate the number of valence electrons we're dealing with, because those are the only ones that can be involved in bonding. So let's take a look at the periodic chart here. You'll notice that oxygen and sulfur are both in group 6, which means they both have 6 valence electrons to work with. Alright, so if that's the case, then we've got 1 sulfur, so that's 1 times 6. We've got 3 oxygens, so that's 3 times 6. And that's a total of 24 valence electrons to work with. Now, according to my first rule here, we've got to use all 24 of those valence electrons. I can't use any more, I can't use any less when I'm drawing this structure. Right, the first thing I want to do is draw a sulfur with 3 oxygens around it. The central atom is usually going to be the one there's only one of. The next thing you want to do is bond the sulfur to the atoms, realizing that one bond is the same as 2 electrons. So at the present time we've used up 6 valence electrons. Now the next thing I want to do is make sure that each of the oxygens, the outer elements, now get 8 electrons. Now to do that I'm going to add 6 to each. And now I have used a total of, let's see, 24 electrons. So at this point, I've used all my valence electrons, and that's good. And you'll notice that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these two here, there's 2 electrons here, that's 8. So each of these now has 8 electrons around it. Now the oxygens look happy, they've all got 8 electrons, but look at the sulfur. How many has the sulfur got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the sulfur is not happy. Now it's not like I can just grab another 2 valence electrons and stick them here. That's not going to help, and the reason is because I have already used all of my valence electrons. All 24 have been used. So I can't do anything with that. My only option is to chop out one of these pairs of electrons and put it into a bond here and form a double bond. Now when I do that, what I'm left with is 4 electrons on this oxygen here. Let me finish up here. And then we've got 4 electrons in the bond here, but they're being shared by both the oxygen here and the sulfur. So that is my final structure there, and you'll notice that everything now has 8 electrons around it, including the sulfur.